Hello, good afternoon. I am so grateful to be here with you for Plug In and Power Up. This is 2 days in a row I've been able to do this, which feels so exciting. I don't know for you, though, for those of you that have been following my Plug In and Power Ups for the last, I think it's been like 2 or 3 years that I've been doing these episodes. I used to do them every single day. Well, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And then when the twins came about, I had to shorten it to 3 days a week. And then it was like maybe one day a week. And then it was sporadic. And it feels so good to be back in the flow and to be able to be here more regularly with you. So hi, Lisa. Let me know that you're here because sometimes I can see people, sometimes I can't. So let me know that you're here and watching. So it feels so good to be able to do this more regularly with you. Our intention, both Gabriel and I said it today, we're like, our intention, now that the boys are like napping and resting and regulating, and so is Arya, our intention is to hop on live every day, whether it be on my personal profile page here or on my business page. So we're going to keep you guys updated and give you a little bit of schedule and routine and start to get back into the flow. I feel so good. I don't know about you, but I love when there's flow and a little bit of structure. It makes everything so much easier. I'm hoping you can hear on. It always amazes me how it tells me that it's poor internet connection when we live in Barrie and we have like high-speed internet. It's just so crazy to me. Anyways, I hope that you can hear me. Let me know that you can. There seems to be some glitches here with the Facebook Live. I don't know what's going on, but I want to jump into content because I was tuning in, as always. Before I do a Plug In and Power Up, I always tune in. I say, Spirit Source Creator, what would you have me speak about? What's going to be in the highest and best good for those listening so that they can take it in and receive it in the best and highest way that's going to pertain to their life. And all of a sudden, this topic came back around about health and what happens when there's dis-ease or when there's dysfunction or when we have a health crisis or something happens. And for those of you that have been following my journey, you know that I've talked about health and well-being a lot in the past. So I'm going to bring it back around. So it might be review for you. You may have heard this from me before, but I always trust that even if you hear something 2 or 3 times around, you're going to get some goodness from it either way because it's great to repeat really high vibe content. Hi, Agnieszka. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Steven. Nice to see you. So let's talk about health and let's talk about breakdown in health. So when there's a breakdown in health, there's usually something that's gone on a mental, emotional layer first. And it slowly works its way into the physical body. And usually we can start to pick up on when there's some sort of imbalance, right? Like imbalance in our thinking, having what people would call negative thinking, right? Not positive thinking, not helpful thinking, not thoughts that are loving and kind to the body. And I always think of the body and what Spirit has always told me. And for those of you that don't know me, and if you're new to my Plug In and Power Ups, I'm an intuitive healer. I have been my entire life, officially as a business since I was 24, 19, 20, 21, yes, 23 actually, officially as a business since 23. I'm now 41. And so I've been working with clients to help shift and elevate their lives and help them heal. And hi, Michelle. I went to Transformational Arts College with my friend Michelle, so she knows all about the health and well-being field as well. Hi, Luli. Nice to see you all. And so one of the things that I learned along my journey as an intuitive healer and a soul coach, what Spirit has always said to me is that the body is neutral. So this vessel, your vessel that you're sitting in, we tend to curse it and we swear it and we get frustrated with it, we get angry with it when it's not functioning. Hi, Pauline. When it's not functioning in its highest state. And we get angry with the body, we get upset with the body, or if something goes wrong, we get upset with the body. We turn to the body and we're like, oh, we get so frustrated with it. But the body is actually neutral. It is this neutral vessel that you are existing in and living in, and it's just taking an instruction from whatever you are giving it. So what I mean by that is if you're having positive thoughts towards your body, like loving thoughts, like I love you, body, I thank you, body, I love you, body, I thank you, body, I love you, body, I thank you, body, I appreciate you. Like for example, when I get up and I take a shower, which I was going to say when I get up in the morning and take a shower, that used to be before twins. Now usually my showers take place at like noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But either way, when I take a shower and I put body butter on, I take time. I've been doing this practice for like 15, 20 years where I take the time and I put the body butter on and I'm telling my body how much I love and appreciate it so that I'm speaking loving words and words of kindness and appreciation to my body so that it can thrive. Think of it like plants, right? When people say, talk to your plants. If you talk love to your plants will grow and they'll thrive. The same is true of your body. If we do that for plants, but we don't do that for our body, where does that leave us in terms of how we respect or not respect ourselves and our body? right? So the body is a temple. This is our actual temple. And when we treat it well, when we speak loving kindness to it, when we have thoughts that are positive, that translates down into the emotions. We start feeling better. We feel more love. We feel more grace. We feel more alive. We feel more vibrant. And then the body responds. It takes those instructions. It takes those words. It takes those thoughts. It takes those acts. And it starts to pay attention, and it starts to build itself and reflect that according to the thoughts that we're having. So if you have loving thoughts towards yourself, your body's going to reflect that. That's why people can say, whoa, you look amazing. Like, even though I on average get anywhere from 3 to 5 or sometimes 6 hours of sleep a night. And it's been that way since, I was pregnant last summer, right? And every now and then I'm like, whoa, the circles or whatever. But at the same time, when I'm out and about, they're like, wow, you look amazing. You look amazing. You look amazing. And I'm saying that because I know how little sleep I'm getting, and yet I still speak loving kindness to my body. And I know that that is one of the primary reasons why I don't feel like I'm flat crashed out on the floor, having to hype myself up on coffee all day long or stimulants. It's because I'm speaking loving kindness to my body. So I want you to think about that for a moment, right? Think about how you treat your body. Think about what you put in your body. But more than that, think about what you say to your body. What do you say to yourself? Are you sitting there throughout the day or in action throughout the day and thinking loving kindness for yourself and your life? Or are you attacking yourself? Are you judging yourself? Are you being hard on yourself? Because when there's dis-ease or dysfunction, there's a breakdown in the body, but that breakdown in the body is an indication. It's showing you where your thoughts and emotions have been and the direction that they've been in. So when we can look at that, and instead of looking at the body and be like, oh man, like what's wrong with my body? Let's just stop that. Let's be loving and kind to our body immediately. I love you, body. Thank you so much for communicating to me. I love you, body. Thank you so much. Whatever dysfunction, whatever upset, whatever dis-ease, imbalance is going on, thank you so much for communicating with me. Thank you so much for yelling at me at times to tell me where the imbalance is, where I've been off, where my thinking might have been in maybe not a supportive or loving way. And you don't have to go back. You can if you want. If you want to deepen your self-awareness, you can kind of take stock and take notice and go, okay, what have I been thinking about myself? What have I been thinking about the world? What have I been thinking about other people? Because it's not just what you think about yourself. See, what you think about other people as well, we're all one and the same. You are me and I am you. So what I think about you comes back to me. What you think about me comes back to you. So if I want love to come back to me, I'm going to think loving thoughts about you and vice versa. So if I'm thinking judgment thoughts or jealousy thoughts or, poor, ill thoughts towards somebody else, you want to believe that energy, by law of reciprocity, that energy is going to come shot back to you like a boomerang. It's literally going to come right back to you. And you're going to feel it on some level. And sometimes it shows up in the body. So this is where it's looking at health as a level of responsibility. We're all responsible for our state of beingness and well-being or not well-being. And if there's a breakdown, it doesn't matter what the breakdown is. You could go as far out and as worse off as the big C word, or it could be like a minor cut or some little bruise or bump or something. There is something, or a headache. There is something that has gone off in the thinking, in the thought realm, that has taken root and over time translates down into your emotional body. So you start feeling different, you start feeling off, and it hits the body. And the body just is neutral. It's neutral. It's like, okay, I'll take that. 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 It just takes it all day long. It just takes it all day long. So you can either have the body as a punching bag or as this brilliant, beautiful, shining, vibrant plant and flower that's just emanating light and colors everywhere it goes. It all depends on you, and it depends on your thinking, and it depends on your state of being. So I like to start the day. So probably most of you take a shower or a bath first thing in the morning, or maybe before you go to bed at night. I'm not sure. But when you do, slow down. Like, here's a really loving practice. Slow it all down. When you're in the shower and you're in the bath, speak loving kindness. Don't just be in the shower haphazardly, having these random thoughts. Slow it down. Pay attention. If you're taking care of the vessel anyways, take care of the vessel on a mental level as well. Think loving kindness to your body. I thank you so much, body. Thank you so much for carrying me in this world. You are amazing. Anytime I have a bit of a breakdown, anytime I have, a night where I'm not like last night, I did not get enough sleep at all. I think I had maybe 2 hours of solid sleep, and then the rest was like broken because the twins are growing a lot right now and they're starting to get more teeth in and everything else. So it was a really interesting night. And so throughout the night, I could feel myself getting frustrated. I could feel myself longing for more sleep, right? But I was like, I'm not going to hook on that because some frustration is going to take me into anger. And I don't want that to be my experience. I don't want my body to reflect that. I want it to reflect light. So what do I need to do? I need to stop myself. I need to unhook from that and start having loving kindness towards myself. Body, you are strong. You are capable. You are strong. 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 And I just kept repeating it in the middle of the night. And as I did that, I woke up and I was like, whew, okay, we're good to go. We were already at a play place with the kids. We've done our Facebook Lives. We teach tonight. Like, we're on a roll today. You know, the boys are sleeping. It's doable. See, a lot of times we get tripped up over the practice where we're like, oh, it takes a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of time. You can flip and shift your thinking like that. So the practice for you then, whatever your state of health or not health or shift that you want to make in your physicality, it could be a weight change. It could be relieving yourself of migraine or headaches. It could be changing from aging to vitality and youthfulness. Whatever your state of being is, it could be something really big too. Start changing your thinking. If you want to reflect back, you can reflect back and go, okay, what is it that I've been thinking? Just to have the awareness of it. But don't get hooked on that. Don't get trapped on that. That's part of the healer's trap. I talk a lot about this, especially now. Spirit's been pumping it through like crazy. They're like, get out of the healer's trap. Don't keep focusing on what you were thinking. Just start shifting it right away. Start thinking loving kindness towards yourself. I love you. It could be as simple as that. I love you, body. I thank you, body. I love you, body. I thank you, body. It reminds me of when I met, I don't know if you guys know, what's his name? Dr. Emoto. He passed already, but he did the water experiment. Amazing, amazing being. And anyways, I met him in Toronto, and he would, he'd bless water all the time, and he'd be like, I love you, water. I thank you, water. I love you, water. I thank you, water. Right? And it's like that. It's like if you speak that loving kindness to your body is like the plant. It will grow. It will take those instructions of love and kindness and it will revitalize itself. It can speed heal itself. It can shift itself. You just have to give it the right nourishment. And I'm not just talking about food. Food is like this. Mind and thought and all that other stuff, it's the everything. It's the enchilada, right? The food is like this. There are days where I'm not putting the most healthy foods into my system. Do I feel it? Yeah, but then I just shift that and I'm like, I'm just going to bless the food anyways. I'm going to love it. And I'm going to love it. 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 And I'm going to love myself, right? Food is like this. Your thoughts are everything. Your thoughts are everything. So if you are in a space where you want more health, more vitality, more radiance in body, if you're moving through anything on a physical nature, I highly recommend that you start looking at the quality of your thoughts, what you've been thinking about yourself and other people, what you've been thinking about your life, and start to rewrite that stuff. Start to spin it and flip it in a way that feels really good. Hi, Jaden. Flip it in a way that feels really good. Let me know how this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions while I'm talking about this too, because I love engagement. That's the one thing. I love Facebook Live, but I love being able to look at people and like connect with people too. So let me know how this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Hi, Rodica. There's a beautiful human being, spirit, awesome, angelic. If you guys want to connect with somebody that is like high vibe energy, connect with Rodica. She is amazing, amazing, amazing. Anyways, you guys all are amazing. I love all of you, but I had this really cool experience with her recently that I'm still floating on air, right? Anyways, so the body is neutral. These are the key things that I want you to remember. The body is neutral. It takes instruction from you. It always takes instruction from you. So if you want to heal something, if you want to shift something, now this is coming from an intuitive healer that I've been doing this work a long time. If you want to shift something, you got to start looking at the mind. You have to start looking at the mind. You got to start looking at the thoughts. Look at your thoughts as the nourishment or the food that you're giving to your physical body. So if I want to heal something, I got to shift what I'm thinking. I got to shift my words. I got to raise the vibration on this. Jen Keat is saying, excited to hear this. Been struggling with sinus headache today. Okay, so with headaches, and I'm going to do a little mind-body workshop on you guys. Okay, so if any of you are struggling with anything physical, I'm going to like workshop it right now. Okay, so Mind-Body Workbook, one of my favorite books of all time. I don't have it here. It's probably in a box. Actually, I do. It's here. We have it packed away. We're moving, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. Oh, it's too hard for me to dig it out. Anyways, it's called Mind Body Workbook by Debbie Shapiro. So headaches, Sinuses, think of them like they're these like they call them cavities, but they're canals, right? They're these pockets inside. Hi, Jean. There's these pockets inside that hold fluid and air, right? So when the sinuses get plugged up, which is supposed to be really open so that we can breathe properly, so that air flows through. Hi, Dominic. When it gets clogged down with mucus, right, watery substances, it plugs up this whole area, and then we can't breathe properly. So it doesn't allow us the full expansiveness of our breath. When you look at what's really there, there's probably some intense emotions that are coming up for you, Jen, that you might want to look at. And I know you're in the meditation program, so you guys are unearthing a lot of stuff right now. There's probably some emotions, some intense emotions, heavy emotions that are kind of clogging the system a little bit, that are being asked to let go of and release so that they don't bog you down. So take some time and look at that emotional stuff. Look at the emotions that are there. And being that there's a headache is pressure, right? So pressure-based thoughts, pressure-based thinking, paired up with some old emotions, they might be going hand in hand. So if you start to look at that a little bit, you might actually create some relief for yourself where the emotions can actually let go. And even just from a massage space, like just doing this, I do this a lot. Michelle Atzenweiler, she's an aromatherapist like me. She would know, right? She'd remember that. It's like sweeping the lymphatics so that you can open up the nasal passage, you can open up the sinuses again, release some of that mucus. But from a mind-body connection place or a spirit place, think of the mucus as emotions. It's blocked up emotions that are blocking your ability to really experience the fullness, the richness, the expansiveness of life, because breath is life. Right? So when it gets bogged down with mucus, it's old emotions that are trapped in there that's probably pressure based that need to release. So I hope that makes sense. Anybody else that's here live, let me know if you have anything physical that's coming up and I can kind of workshop it with you a little bit. Hi, Tracy. You're so welcome, Jen. Really great. One of the other things that we heard from somebody in one of our meditation, in the Ascension Meditation group was, I think it was also headaches actually. And headaches, again, they're pressure. So where are the pressure thoughts coming in? Pressure-based thinking coming in that creates that tense, that tension, that intensity, right? Any pressure or headaches behind the eyes, it's about what we're seeing in our physical world that might be causing us pressure, that might be intense for us, that we don't want to look at maybe anymore. But then we're putting pressure on ourselves to try to change that, and it's not changing. It's so interesting that I've just talked about sinuses too, because as I'm tuning in, like this happens as an intuitive, I literally just got clogged up. So I might be feeling what's going on, Jen. That happens as an intuitive and as a sensitive, right? We all have that ability. We're all tapped into another, which is another topic for another day, actually. I should write that one down. I'm going to write that one down for you guys. Tuning into other people. Tuning into others. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow because I'm going to try to go live every day if I can. Hi, Jen. Looking forward to seeing you tonight in the group. So let me know if you have any other questions. If there's any physical stuff that you're going through, please post it here. And I am more than happy to stay on a few extra minutes just to address that, to give you a little bit of a breakthrough on that mind-body connection. Angela's saying, what about muscle strains? So muscle connective tissue are based on thoughts. So and anytime there's a strain, it means that there's literally a strain in our thinking. So it could be, think of it like an elastic band. Your muscle fibers are like elastic bands. You can stretch them. That's what happens in yoga, right? We stretch our muscles and then we work out. We kind of tear the fibers and then they come back together even tighter, right? So then we got to lengthen them again. So think of it, the muscles are like this accordion that can stretch and shrink on demand, but it has to do with the thought strain. So any muscle strain, if we pull the muscle, it has to do with our thinking is pulling us out of joint. Thinking is pulling us off center, off kilter. And so it's literally stretching us in different ways. I am so tuning into you guys right now, like as we talk about this physical stuff, which I haven't done in such a long time, because I can actually feel like headache tension in here now as we're talking about this, which I was fine 2 seconds ago. So we're healing and clearing all sorts of things today. So as an intuitive healer, this is the other thing that I do is I hold the space. If I feel stuff like that, I hold the space for it to clear and release, not just for me, but for you as well, whoever's going through it. So just want to put that forward. But yeah, strains are like, the muscles pulling, they're straining themselves, but it has to do with the thinking. So we got to look at our thoughts. What thoughts are straining and pulling me out of joint? What thoughts are pulling me out of center? What thoughts are pulling me off kilter? So that's what that's all about. Grishelle is saying the cold air is making my knee pain intense. So what I would look at, this is kind of like seasonal allergies too. There's really no such thing as seasonal allergies. What it is that there's an event that happens, an emotional event that happens in our life. And it happens to happen around a time when there's an intensity of pollen in the air of some sort of flower or plant or whatever. And the body starts to perceive it as, oh, at this specific time when there was that happening here, it associates, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience where you have a really traumatic event happen, a very emotional traumatic event happen, and you happen to be eating a certain type of food, or you hear a certain song on the radio all around the same time, and then the event comes and goes, you heal, whatever, and then it could be years later, and all of a sudden you eat that same food, and it takes you right back to that same time and place, that you're like, oh God, that reminds me of when whatever happened, right? Or I had this happen with chocolate covered like bananas, those little bananas dipped in chocolate and coconut. Michelle adds some while their nose too, because when her and I traveled to Bali, I broke my big toe. We were middle of the jungle, and at that time we were eating a ton of this. This was one of the desserts. They take those little bananas, dip them in chocolate, and then roll them in coconut. We ate so many of them, and during that trip, I had so much stuff that I was clearing. I broke my toe on the way there. I think I had like a bronchitis, really bad bronchitis. Then broke my toe, and then ended up with some sort of virus hit my system, and I was like, it was coming out at all ends for a good like 16 hours. It was crazy town, and all I can remember was throwing up these like little bananas. Still to this day, if somebody puts that in my face, I'm like, ugh, I'm taken right back to Bali, right? The reason why is because our the limbic part of our brain, it remembers everything. It's like the oldest part of our brain. It records memories based on food and scent and sound and all these other senses. And so allergies are the same thing with the cold air, right? It's like there's something that's happening that pairs up with something else. So in the form of allergies, it's like there's an emotional flare up that happened, and we have this literally emotional flare up, and it pairs it up with a certain time period, and the brain literally puts those two things together so that then in the future, when that thing happens again, it flares up that emotional thing, thinking that that was the cause, but that's not really what the cause was, right? So I would say with cold air making knee pain intense, I would kind of look at, what does the cold mean to you? Like, does the cold create resistance? Does the cold air bring you into a different state of being? Does it affect your consciousness, your thinking, your mind, and your emotions? And if it does, like on a not so great level, then it's about us shining even brighter, being even lighter within ourselves to combat whatever that cold air is. It's kind of like warming yourself up to become the heat, and so that the body can chill out, right? But then I would look at the knees. The knees are all about our support system. So if there's pain in our knees and in our joints, that has to do with support. So where do we feel supported? Where do we not feel supported? That's really what the knees are about. Right? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. Hi, Krista. Hi, Andrea. Jaden saying, always let spirit be with you. You got it, girl. You're so welcome, Angela. Hi, Kara. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining me. So again, if anybody has any specific physical stuff that you want a little workshop, insight on the mind-body connection, I'm here for another few minutes. It's such a joy to connect with you all. And if you haven't yet joined our Path to Ascension Circle, hop on over there. We're going live there. Gabriel just went live a little while ago in there. We always go live on Mondays at 3 p.m. We always post tons of stuff throughout the week, high vibe content. We're getting ready to do another 5-day Thrive in 5 that's going to be happening the beginning of December. And it's all about money and finances and wealth and abundance. And we figured a great time to do it right before Christmas too, so that people are feeling abundant as they go into the holidays and not feeling that strain of being like, oh my God, I just spent all this money and then what, right? So hop on over to the group if you haven't done so already. And as always, if you love this content, feel free to share it with your community. I just have to press the share button. And we love you so much. We appreciate you guys. And again, I'm going to do my best to get on here. I'm going to recommit to going live every day again and work it out. Now that the kids are like organizing themselves a little bit better and it's making it easier for us, we can hop on live more regularly. Even if I have a towel on my head, I'm going to do it, right? Grishelle says, lived on Michigan and would have seasonal depression from lack of sunlight. Yeah, so there could be a connection to that, right? Hi, Cassandra. There could be a connection to that in terms of that seasonal depression, right, from lack of sunlight. So this is where, and actually one of the topics that I'm probably going to touch on tomorrow is, what do you do when it's the darkness? Like whether it's internal darkness or shadow, or it's becoming darker and darker, right, as we move closer to the winter solstice. What do you do? How do you stay in the light when there's so much darkness and shadow. So I think that's the topic that I'm going to do tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And I'll let you guys know when I'm going to go live and where I'm going to go live, because I want to balance out going live between my personal page and my business page, just to create some balance and momentum over there as well as here. So I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to plug in and power up with me. Be easy and gentle and loving with your body. Remember, your body is just like a flower or plant. If you want it to grow, it's not just about the food or the water that you give it. It's about the thoughts that you're giving it to. Okay? So make sure your thoughts are in the clear, in the love, in the light. And I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.